Welcome to the Crypto Boss Andrew family. So let's look at Bitcoin. There's some interesting things going on in the markets right now, and let me make sure that I am good on sound. Testing. Sound should be good. If sound is not good, let me know in the chat when people join on YouTube. I did just get TikTok going, so obviously this has kind of been an interesting week since Tuesday. Bitcoin's taken a dump out of the bear flag that I had drawn on the 4-hour chart. So without further ado, let's get immediately started. I had this bear flag. I talked about this, I think, at least last week. I know I talked about it on Tuesday, the last time we were live. Out of this bear flag, we dumped. We went below $20,850, which I think was my target. No, $20,500 was my target. We went below that all the way down to about $19,500 or just above that. I think 19,567 was the exact low or about that on Coinbase, maybe 19,536. Either way, that's kind of what happened. And now we're trying to see if we can get the recovery on Bitcoin. A daily chart is ready to boom to the upside. So that is definitely a good sign. You're trying to hold this yellow line, 200-day moving average, as support. I personally believe if you lose this 200-day moving average, then you will have no support until the next stop at $18,472 is where I have that drawn. So it's pretty straightforward from there. Now, if we go down the 4-hour chart, the 4-hour chart is basically making another bear flag, which is not a good sign. I just now noticed this. Right, here's your flag pull, and you're going to make another bear flag to the downside, it's looking like. So I'm going to just draw this really quick. So here would be your bear flag again, just like the one you had up here. I'm going to delete the previous one, or at least, you know, I'll make the previous one smaller so it doesn't get in the way, but we can leave it there just so we know what happened. So this is your new bear flag, right? Here's your flag. Here's your pull, I should say, and this would be your flag right here. So the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin is making a new bear flag. It just doesn't look very bullish to me. That's exactly what we saw up here, and you dump to the downside. The measure move for this bear flag is approximately, it would take you down to 17.9, and then the next support for below that is 17.6. If you, so measure move, depending on how you draw it, would be about, if you get being conservative, about $17,900 for this new bear flag. And the 4-hour chart is suggesting that we could dump at least to the bottom of the pattern at 19,700, maybe get one more bounce. So something like this is probably in play for Bitcoin. You get the bounce to the bottom of this bear flag, you probably get one more bounce to the top, and then eventually you would dump to the bottom, unless the smaller time frames can get you out of it. And if you want to negate this bear flag, that's the word I'm looking for, you'd have to break $20,500 to be bullish on Bitcoin. You'd have to break $20,500 to negate the bear flag. On the 1-hour chart, again, 1-hour chart can't really save you, actually, because you are overbought even on the 1-hour chart for Bitcoin. Now, if we go down to the 15-minute chart, 15-minute chart is also making a lower high, overbought. So 15-minute chart, 1-hour chart, and 4-hour chart, all overbought for Bitcoin, all making lower highs. And again, the only time frame that could actually save you would be the daily chart. But obviously, you need the smaller time frames to save you before the larger time frames can, because the reversal has to start on the smaller time frames. So we'll see what happens. Maybe the 5 minutes trying to make a higher low here, but overall right now it looks pretty bearish for Bitcoin. Right now it just doesn't look very good. So I'm looking for lower lows on Bitcoin, and honestly, again, I still think we're in a bear market. So that's the TA I have on Bitcoin. Let's go over to Bookmap. I don't usually talk about the stock market. There is something I do want to talk about the stock market. So we'll get into that in a second. I have already one request before the stream to look at YFI, so I'm going to do that. And then if you guys have requests beyond that, we can look at that. And yeah, so USDT is pumping. I'll get into that. Actually, yeah, we'll talk about YFI. I want to talk about the bank run in the stock market and why USDT and all that stuff. It's all kind of correlated, I think, so I'll get into that in a minute. But right now, still sticking with Bitcoin, this is where all the liquidity is at on Bitcoin, right? It's called Bookmap. It's a tool I use to see where the orders are on Bitcoin. Right now, you have a lot more. There's still a ton of liquidity at that $15,000 area. And that'd be a double bottom, but if you go any lower than that, I think it'd be lower than that. I don't know. A few months ago, the bottom was 15 or 15. I think it was 15.5 or something. You'd have to double check that. But you have a lot of liquidity at that last local low, And you also have a lot of liquidity below that, a ton at 10,000. I'm personally in the belief that we are going lower, but we will see what happens. If you look to the upside, there's a lot less liquidity, a lot less buys, I should say sells up here than there is buys down here. Bookmap is definitely suggesting you are going to go to the downside. Yeah, 15,000 has a ton of liquidity. Even if you zoom in, you still have a ton of liquidity at 18.5, which I think was, if I go back to what was the measure move? Actually, measure move for the bear flag, is 17.9, 18,000. And 18.5 is where you have a lot of liquidity. So we'll see what happens. Bookmap is also confirming that the chart and the trend is bearish. All right, getting into kind of everything that depegged. First of all, someone made this meme coin. It's called USDCC, and I think they made it because obviously USDT got depaired, and it's supposed to be a stable coin that stays at $1, and clearly that didn't happen. Let's go over to it right now. So USDT is supposed to be a stable coin that's pegged to $1. It's at 102. It was all the way up, which, I mean, if you're gonna lose the peg, you'd love it to go to the upside, because then you're making money when you thought you were breaking even. But the problem is, if you lose a peg, then there's a good chance it could also lose the peg to the downside. Right now, it went all the way up to 115. So 15% higher than it should be, which I guess that's a good thing if you're holding it, but it should not be away from $1. And the DAI stable coin, that's another stable coin, which is supposed to be, again, at $1. I think that went to the downside. That's not good. Hold on, let's look. DAI, that's definitely not it. DAI. Hold on. I saw it earlier, so I just don't know which one it is. That's not it. Anywho, I could also look this up on TradingView if I need to. I'm just going to go TradingView. We're going to look it up here. It's going to be easier. So DAI is supposed to be at $1 as well. This is currently about 1% lower than $1. It had a wick apparently all the way down to 86 cents. So you'd be down 14% if you sold right there because you were scared it was going to go to zero. Remember what happened with a few years ago, or probably about a year ago? There was a coin that I don't remember what it was called. It was called UST. Let's go look at that. This one depegged as well. And it's not even on Coinbase anymore. This one depegged as well. Now it's sitting at 3 cents when it was originally supposed to be $1. So if you held this, you're down 97% when you thought it would be a safe asset to hold. So this is the problem, because DAI stablecoin, if it doesn't get back to $1, it could become like a UST. I don't think it'll be as severe because this was linked with Luna Classic, which absolutely went to zero basically. But these stablecoins, it's not a good thing. I just think you should be cautious if you're holding stablecoins. That's just my moral of the story. That's why I would rather just stay in Ethereum, and you have some fluctuation in the price. Yes, it could go down 10-20%, but it'll always go back up. Ethereum's a great asset to hold along with Bitcoin. So that's why I personally, when I'm in, I'd rather be in Ethereum than in any of these stablecoins, because you never know what can happen. So I don't know. That's just my point. And then, of course, there's some banks in the news that there's a bank run. Everyone's trying to get their money out. And that's probably the reason that all these coins are losing their peg, because everyone wants to get out. We'll see. I'm not quite sure, but that's what I would believe what's going on. I do want to look at OneCoin YFI, and then I'll take a request. But that is kind of the major news that's going on this week. So, anywho, let me see. We are live on YouTube. We're live on TikTok. We go live twice a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Central Time, and Saturdays, 3 p.m. Central Time. If you guys are new, appreciate if you hit that like, subscribe, follow button. So also, I want to let you guys know we do have a Telegram group. A link to join that is in the description on TikTok and the bio on YouTube. So feel free to join that. It's free to join, and I'm trying to get that active again. So let's go look at YFI. Can you look at 1 Earth 1 day and 2 hour got liquidated twice? I can definitely do that. So I would also say don't over leverage yourself. I've learned that the hard way before as well. So YFI, I want to do a video on this really quick, so bear with me. Welcome to the Crypto Boss Andrew channel. So let's look at YFI. Right now, starting on the daily chart. Daily chart is ready to boom, and also looks like you're trying to hold the support, although you had a wick below it, so it probably lost that support. Up sloping support line. The 4 hour chart right now, 4-hour chart is definitely made a lower low. Technically, you're not even completely oversold here. On the 4-hour chart, below the 200-day moving average, you have resistance at $8,700. Currently sitting at $75.36. To the downside, my next macro support is $56.36. And the 1-hour chart is overbought on the RSI, not even close to a resistance, and you're or not even close, not even close to a support, and you're now running into this resistance, which was once support, this upsloping support line, which is now resistance. So overall, I'm not loving what I'm seeing on YFI. 15-minute charts again overbought. Technically, you made a higher high in the 15-minute chart, but if you go down to the 5-minute chart, what is that doing? 5-minute chart still looks good. 5 and 15 look okay, but the larger time frames, 1 hour, 4-hour chart, and daily chart don't look good to me. Daily chart actually is due for a bounce, but you're nowhere near support now. So unless you get back above, I would say $7,600 to be safe. Your next stop is $56.75 on YFI. So that's pretty much it, guys. Do remember we have a Telegram group. Feel free to join that. Link is in the description and bio on YouTube. If you guys enjoyed this video, appreciate if you hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next update. All right, so that will be posted. There was just a request for that before I did the stream, so I thought I'd just do it on here. It's a coin I haven't talked about in a while, so that is YFI. Anyways, One Earth was a request that we got on TikTok, so let's go look at that. So One Earth right now, the daily chart is losing the 200-day moving average. The average price at basically the 200-day moving average is what the price has been on average over the last 200 days. So it is losing that, right? It was at 2.9, now it's at 2.6. And I also had this in what looked like a falling wedge. You kind of got a small breakout there. It absolutely failed, and now you're just dumping. And to move this and say this is still in the falling wedge, I think is pushing it. So to me right now, it looks pretty bad. I mean, if you really want to push it, that's pushing it. I guess you could make the argument, but overall, the trend is clearly down. The daily chart is due for the bounce, but you just lost this 200-day moving average. And to me, the next macro support, guys, is not all the way until about 8, and you're at 26 right now, because last time you pumped straight up, so there's no support to the downside. Now if I zoom way out, there's no support that I see for One Earth until you go from 8. Now that's on the daily chart, but you went from basically 8 all the way up to, at the top, what was that, 100 maybe? I don't know how you would read that because there's so many zeros. But right now, you went straight up, made this what looked like a bull flag, which clearly failed. But overall, right now, I would say that if you don't get back above the 200-day moving average right now, I would be looking for much lower lows. I can actually tell you the percent down it would look to be going if you can't hold this. The next support I have is 70% down, just based on the daily chart. But there's really, even if you zoom into the smaller time frames, there's no support to the downside before that, because even when you dumped really fast, and when you pumped really hard. So there's no support that I see until 8, and that's a 70% drop. So this is a coin that personally, now that you've lost a 200-day moving average, if you could short it, not financial advice, but that's the best play to do, or stay away from it. The 4-hour chart is trying to get the pump, but again, it's in a massive downtrend, making lower highs, lower lows overall. The 1-hour chart as well does not look good to me, so I just don't like what I'm seeing right now on One Earth. It does not look good. So I hate to say it, but this is One Earth is in a massive downtrend. I would stay away from it unless you're going to go short on it. I mean, if I had to trade it, which I don't know why I would have to, but if I did, I would personally want to be short on this asset. So that's all I'm going to say. Leave it at that. But, yeah. Guys, do remember, if you guys want to see my entire screen, because I know TikTok, it's kind of hard to see the screen. We are live on YouTube. Feel free to join that. Yeah, feel free to join that. It's probably easier to see the screen there, too. Or easier to see it there. So, but anyways, that's One Earth. I think One Earth is pretty bearish right now overall. Appreciate the follow, Stevie. Can you do XRP on 1 week, 1 day, and 2 hour? Appreciate you, Andrew. Of course. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. So Bitcoin will drop more due to oversold 15 and 1 minute chart. I would not look at the 1 minute chart. I honestly wouldn't even really look at the 15 unless you're trading it. Quant opinion, ICP opinion, OP opinion. So let's go look at XRP next. Any of the other three, Quant, OP, and whatever the other one was, if you were asking me if I would hold it or what I think about it, the answer is no. I think there's other assets out there besides those three that have more upside long term. But anyways, if you're asking for TA on that, then that's another story. I can do that. But XRP right now on Binance, on the daily chart, what time frame you want me to look at? The 1 week and daily and 2 hours. So I guess we'll start in the 1 week for XRP. Okay. So you're below the 200-day moving average on the 1 week chart. Also, the 1 week chart has a lot more downside to go. Currently sitting at 36 cents. So it just doesn't look good. I'm not going to call this a bear flag, even though you had a huge dump and now you're going, yeah, I wouldn't call that a bear flag, but you have support that you're trying to hold right here. You've gotten multiple touches off of it, around 36.5. You could even call that 37 cents, actually. So you're technically right on support or about to lose it. And you have some good resistance there right around 50 cents. So the more times you touch a support, the more likely you are to break it to the downside. And if you lost the support, I'm looking for about 14 cents to be the next stop based on just the weekly chart. Smaller time frames like the daily chart and everything would have support before that, but that's just based on your last local lows and where you got bounces. So now going to the daily chart. Daily chart, again, rolling over, has quite a bit more downside to go, and you're still below the 200-day moving average on the daily chart. So to me, it still doesn't look bullish. Now, as far as supports go, you also have some support at 33 cents. When I zoom in, I can see that. But again, just doesn't look very good. And then the 2 hour chart, like you said, below the 200-day moving average again. And the 2 hour chart's trying to make a higher low right here. So that's a good sign. But overall, again, just isn't a massive downtrend. So you have to kind of get some momentum going. I would say you could have a nice move up if you break 37 cents. But overall, it just doesn't look very good to me. At some point, something's going to have to give, right? We can higher lows, higher highs. Higher lows, yeah, and higher highs. Or lower highs, I should say. Higher lows and lower highs, yeah. So at some point, you're going to get some sort of move, kind of in a symmetrical triangle right here, which break up 50% of the time and they break down 50% of the time. So anything can honestly happen when you're in a symmetrical triangle. Measure move to the upside would be around 40 cents. Measure move to the downside would take you to that support at 33 cents. So we'll see what happens. But XRP, that is my TA on XRP. Anything else I want to look at? I don't think so. All right, so appreciate the follow. What do I think of GMX USDT chart? Magic Ball knows all. I'm down bad on Shiba and bills coming due soon. Let me go look at Shiba. I think that was the next request. That was the next request, is Shiba. So, looking at Shiba right now. Shiba. Hopefully for you this pumps, but this looks pretty bad. Daily chart is ready for a bounce, but you just lost a 200-day moving average. Next support I have is 6.8. You're at 10 right now, 10.3. So that's that. Forward chart's getting overbought again without breaking a previous high. The previous high was about 11.75, and you're only at 10.3. Looking bearish on the 4-hour chart. Not completely oversold, but it doesn't look good to me. 1-hour chart is pinned and overbought without breaking a previous high, making a lower high. And the 15-minute chart now, 15-minute chart made a higher high, but again, you got the 1 hour chart, the 4 hour chart, and the daily chart all looking bad. Daily chart is ready for the bounce, but it looks bad because you're nowhere near support, and you just lost the 200-day moving average. So to me personally, I'm looking for another move down as low as 40. We'll calculate it, right? I got one more thing to say in a second. 33% down as the next support. If you look right here though, you have an indecision candle, which tells people that there's a chance buyers are going to step in, but you had an indecision candle here where you had a wick up and you had a wick down, and then you continued lower. So as long as you're below the 200-day moving average and nowhere near support, I would still estimate a short is the best way to make money. And the next support is 6.8 according to what I'm looking at. So it is what it is, you know. But Shiba, I hate to say it for you, man, it looks bad. It looks really bad, actually. So you bought at 14.45. Either DCA, but if you don't have money, then I would definitely say get out because it looks like it's going to keep going lower. Daily chart is ready for a bounce, but in a bear market, that honestly doesn't always matter. So you can short it on KuCoin. Where are you trading it right now? You can short it on KuCoin. I would do no leverage, especially if you need the money. But KuCoin, you can short it there. There's coins, 3S coins that you can short it with. That means that if you goes down 1%, you make 3%. But honestly, again, that's risky. So yeah. Oh, you definitely can't short it on Robinhood. You'd have to get like a cryptocurrency exchange or something. It's KuCoin. 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 Hey, I pull. Hold on a second. I can probably pull it up here. So that's how you spell it, KuCoin. I've used it before. Yeah, it's pretty easy to use. So. Anyways, if there's any other requests, let me know and I'll look at them. Guys, we're still live on YouTube. I gotta get more people watching there. I don't think anyone's watching there. It's kind of depressing, but GMX USDT. KuCoin. GMX is the next request on Binance. On the daily chart, it has been around long enough to have the 200-day moving average. So but it is oversold, making a lower low. I don't like the trend right now. The 4-hour chart right now, below the 200-day moving average, about to be overbought with making a lower high. 1-hour chart's overbought, making a lower high, below the 200-day moving average. It's pretty simple, right? I can go through these pretty quick. I care if it's below the 200-day moving average. I care what the trend is. I care where you have support, and I care if you're overbought, making a previous high, which is also part of the trend reversal. It's testing the 200-day moving average on the smaller time frames, but and a 15-minute chart is in a kind of a short-term uptrend, but overall, it just doesn't look good. Now, if the 1-hour chart wants to become bullish, you'd have to break the level of $65. Not too much higher, but we'll see if we can do that. You are overbought right now. If you break $65, then you could actually talk about a trend reversal, and then the next thing you'd have to do is make a higher low above, I would say, 55 to be safe. Next target to the upside is 65. Then when you make a correction, you'd want to hold 55. If you can do that and then get another move above $65, you could be good. But this is kind of what you'd have to see, right? You'd have to get above $65. Then you'd want to come down here, make a higher low, and then make a higher high above $65. If that doesn't happen, you're obviously bearish on the 1-hour chart. When the 1-hour chart is bullish, then you can look at the 4-hour chart to make a higher high and higher low. And that's how you get out of a bear trend, right? So that's what you got to do on the smaller time frames to become bullish on the larger ones. So GMX right now is bearish, maybe trying to make a trend reversal, but it's very sketchy in my humble opinion. Yeah, just doesn't look good. Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic, please. That is the next request. Ethereum Classic. Coinbase, we'll use a Coinbase chart. So right now, sitting at $17 is Ethereum Classic. You had support that I could see at 1680. I need to probably start on the daily time frame. The daily time frame has support 1680, right? You're well below the 280 moving average, but you are sitting on support. If you hold 1680, which you got a wick off of it, you could have a chance to actually have a nice trend reversal. Looking at the 4-hour chart, 4-hour chart is overbought. Definitely didn't even get much of a rally. That doesn't look good. 1-hour chart is overbought, making a lower high for sure. Previous high was around $18, maybe a little bit higher, nowhere near that right now. I mean, it's at $17.30. So, and you're looking at the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart right now is going to make a higher low, it looks like. But again, the 1-hour chart, the next time frame that matters, is well below the last high, which was just above $18. So to me, Ethereum Classic right now is short term. It's on support, but the longer you test the support, it looks like you're going to break it. We'll see what happens. But my guess is you break the support eventually, maybe in the next few days at 1780. So ETC, it was on support, but I don't believe it's going to hold just based on the trend. But we will see. Maybe I'll be wrong. But ETC right now looks bad. So, oh, I've looked at Blur. We can look at Blur. Should be right here, right? Blur. Yeah, I've looked at Blur before. I was thinking about entering. Actually, I might have entered a trade on Blur. Yeah. So, daily chart right now for Blur. There's not enough data on that. We'll start on the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame is making a lower low, right, for Blur. Definitely in a massive downtrend. It just doesn't look good. The 1-hour chart is overbought, about to be overbought, I should say, making a lower high. The previous high was 56 cents. Right now, you're only sitting at about 48 cents. And you got the 15-minute chart, again, overbought, dumping to the downside. That is a bear flag, right? Here's your flag pull. And that looks like a bear flag. It's exactly what a bear flag looks like. Hold on. It's kind of going up a little, which is kind of interesting. So maybe it's not quite a bear flag, but it is struggling. That is for sure. So measure move out of this. Would be about 38 cents on Blur. So Blur is bearish in my humble opinion right now. And obviously it's pretty easy to say that though when you're in a massive downtrend ever since $1.80 or $1.40 or whatever the high was. So Blur is bearish. No problem. Hex will outperform everything. Well, I think the market cap on Hex is so damn high that if you're buying it now, you can still double, triple, 10x your money. But honestly, there's so many other assets out there that you could do 100x on, 1000x on. Maybe 1000x is a little unrealistic for some of the higher market cap coins, but there's a lot of coins you could do a 10x on, 100x on, and a lot faster if you're willing to hold for several months or several years throughout the entire market. Because if you buy Hex now, you're probably not looking at much more than a 10x, maybe a little bit more. And, you know, there's a lot of other coins that hold on. There's a lot of other coins out there that can outperform Hex percentage wise in this next bull market. So I would buy anything beyond that. So anyways, that's my opinion. But if you're looking for a safe asset to buy, I would rather just buy Bitcoin over Hex anyways. Personally, that's just me. But so to wrap things up, Bitcoin is currently sitting at $20,300. I think we looked at this when I started the stream and kind of said that we're a bear flag. So you had a huge dump. Now you're just going sideways. I would say, though, if you break 20,700, you can negate the bear flag. But otherwise, you're in this bear flag. And my measure move for the bear flag is around $18,000 or $17,900 for Bitcoin. That's pretty much it. It's what I wanted to talk about today. Nothing crazy. I'm going to get this Wi-Fi video posted after the live stream. Yeah. Documentary coming out for Hex. Hex is by far better store value and more secure. What is what's the market cap for Hex? That's what I want to know now. Coin market cap. We'll look at this. Coin market cap. All right. So the market cap for Hex is the market cap is $11.7 billion. So that's why I'm saying you can do a 10x on it, but there's other coins like Ethereum Classic, Jasmy especially. I wouldn't probably say Jasmy is a safe coin to hold, but ApeCoin, BNB, especially Ethereum, can all do 10x's. They're safer assets to hold than Hex. And I don't know. I just think there's limit. If you're gonna be in a altcoin, I'd rather with limited upside. I'd rather just be in a safe coin such as Ethereum. I just think Hex is a risky play with such a high market cap. But maybe it's because I'm a degenerate trader. I don't know. But with that being said, guys, that's all I got. If you guys enjoyed this, appreciate if you hit the like, subscribe button. We will be back live Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time. And I think that's probably about it. Appreciate the follow, TikTok Recruiter. Appreciate the likes. You can go subscribe to my YouTube channel. We just looked at Hex, didn't we? Yeah, we just looked at Hex. So, anyways, we have a YouTube channel. We have a Telegram chat. Feel free to join the Telegram chat. It's free to join. I'm trying to get that more active right now. But with that being said, I think that's about it. So, with that being said, I'm going to end the TikTok live stream. I'll be back live on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Be there or be square. And I think that's about it. So, I think you do have to look at market cap, though, when you're deciding if you want to buy a coin. Because, obviously, if you're buying a $1 billion market cap, or you have a lot more upside than an $11 billion market cap. I'm just saying, I look at that when I'm investing or trading or whatever, especially trading. But that, you don't have to look at it, but a lot of people do. So that is all I'm saying. That being said, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time.